A year ago, SBS were running an ageing email platform. They were beginning to run into challenges with that system. So there were a few trends that were affecting them. Some of those trends I think we see pretty consistently across enterprise, the consumerisation of IT. They had staff bringing in their own tablets, their own smartphones and their own PCs as well. And they were using these PCs successfully at home to access collaboration tools, and they really wanted to be able to use them for work too.
We have a platform for communication which is obsolete. It needs an uplift. The second problem we have is there's an ongoing demand in collaboration, sharing information, and in a way more and more users are actually used to from other experiences or what you're actually doing privately at home.
Second of all, there was the mobile workforce.
We have a group of journalists who are actually working across Australia and overseas, and obviously it's quite important to keep in touch with them. So communication is again one of the core underlying technologies we need.
They had the Football World Cup, and they had people over at the World Cup who were really having challenges accessing their work systems back in Australia while they were over there. And lastly, they were really, their costs were blowing out. Their storage costs were increasing by 50% every year, and they were really struggling to keep up with that. And then their operational costs were blowing out too, maintaining the system, running backups, testing disaster recovery and so on. And really, the IT team was spending a lot of time, a lot of effort just keeping the lights on.
SBS has selected the Microsoft product suite as their new application for information sharing and collaboration. And one of the key decisions was A, to go with the Microsoft product suite, but as well a conscious decision to actually move it into the cloud and actually use a cloud deployment methodology for that.
So the IT department at SBS is quite a small department, and they do everything from desktop support all the way through to delivery of internal services. So really what they wanted to do was spend less time maintaining their aging infrastructure and be able to focus more on, really adding value to the business.
We started the journey of implementing or looking for a more collaborative way of sharing information in the business, to provide a collaboration platform for the business. So where we are today is where we have an email system, and we're replacing that with the email facility or capabilities in Office 365. And once that's in, we actually pretty quickly after that engage on the next level and actually make use of the SharePoint capabilities.
End user acceptance was a large part of what drove the decision at SBS. And that was partially around people finding themselves more productive with the tools, but it also largely came down to how familiar people were with the tools. Almost everybody at SBS had either used Office at home or in a previous job, and so the training curve was very, very minimal. So it meant that SBS could focus on change management and rolling out the software, and the training requirement was quite minimal compared to what it might have been with other solutions.
An email system gets rolled out to everybody in the company, and it's nearly impossible, especially the size of this company, that I can actually get a chance to talk to everybody. So you need to find a product which is quite easy and quite quickly adapted out there and quite easily accepted out there. So it was quite important for us to get a high level of acceptability by the user.
One of the real values of the cloud is the time to market and the time to value. In a traditional server-based project, you've got a large lead time to actually run the project, build out the infrastructure, and then roll it out to end users. And that can blow out to quite a significant amount of time. One of the advantages of the cloud is that the server rollout and build out is already done for you. So you can really focus on the change management, the training, and then delivering those services to the end users.
We did not have the skills or the skills required to run this operation for the product we picked at the end in-house. So I really found myself in a situation, do I build up my internal skill sets, or do I actually partner with somebody who can do it for me? And from my assessment, it was simply, it would have taken me more resources and more time to actually build the internal capabilities instead of just using a partner who can actually operate it for me, and I would just use it or consume the product.
When they looked at moving to the cloud, at the time we were about to release Office 365. So we enrolled them in our early production onboarding program, which is where we got a Microsoft partner in there to assist, Online Services Corp. They helped them with the planning, the preparation and the migration. And then Microsoft backed that up with support And obviously, in an ongoing perspective, we've really got that strong relationship. So once SBS have completed their mail rollout, they can then start to focus on some of the other Office 365 workloads like SharePoint. At its most basic, SharePoint is document management and team collaboration, but it is also an application development platform. So they can start to roll applications out to the cloud if they need broad reach and they need access to the resources, or if they want to heavily customize it and have it pulling from internal data sources, they can deploy it on premises. The key thing is they get choice. You can do it on premises, you can do it in the cloud, or you can do a combination of both.
Email is just a start of the whole bigger picture of collaboration and information sharing. And in the cloud, what it offers me is a kind of a standardized, quite commoditized functionality, which is email. But down the track with the different tools out of the product suite, I would need to customize it more. I would possibly need to tailor to our specific needs.
So SBS's journey has really taken them from a basic messaging platform through to a full productivity platform in the cloud. So this is really now enabling them to drive cultural change. So they can start to enable flexible working and people working from home, as well as the consumerization of IT and bringing your own devices. And this is something we're seeing across the industry in general. I think it was IDC that said by 2013, a third of the workforce will be mobile. And so enterprises need to start thinking about this and understanding how they're going to deliver these services to these mobile users who still need to be part of the workforce. And I really see that the cloud is helping drive that.
The first piece in the puzzle of building a cloud is data center, followed by server and storage infrastructure.
Building a Rolls-Royce solution is not the best way to service everybody.
I think there's a lot of pushback from the CEO and the CFO at that level as to, do we really need to build and own this infrastructure?
iSeek's customers fundamentally want to be able to provision their services very quickly.
At the low level, we're talking about archival storage, or what we call unstructured storage. Through to the highest level is what we call mission critical application type storage within the organisation.
What they're looking for is a repeatable and predictable way in which they can deploy not just today's applications that support their business, but the future applications that they will need.
We've earmarked an investment of $83.5 million to spend on data centres, storage, servers to meet this demand.